The great exploration vessel Starweaver emerged from hyperspace at the edge of a long-forgotten solar system. Its crystalline hull shimmered with the residual energy of faster-than-light travel as Captain Naira Valen stood at the command center, her iridescent scales reflecting the soft blue light of the holographic displays surrounding her. "Status report," she commanded, her four-fingered hand brushing through the three-dimensional star chart hovering before her. The Kilari expedition had spent decades searching for signs of the legendary Terrans, a species that supposedly achieved technological marvels before vanishing from the galaxy. "System appears stable, Captain," reported First Officer Zen, his sensory tendrils pulsing with analytical data. 8 planets orbiting a yellow dwarf star. Third and fourth planets show signs of extensive modification. Naira's vertical pupils dilated with interest. After countless dead ends and false leads, they might have finally found it, the home system of humanity. "Take us in, standard observation protocol." Full sensor sweep. As the Starweaver glided deeper into the system, the crew worked in focused silence. They were all aware of the stories, tales of a species that had achieved technological advancement at an unprecedented rate, rising from primitive tool users to masters of matter and energy in mere millennia. A species that had supposedly transformed their entire solar system before disappearing without a trace. "Captain," the sensor operator's voice cracked with excitement. "Massive energy signature detected in orbit around the fourth planet. It's a fleet." The main view screen shifted, showing a breathtaking sight that made every crew member freeze in amazement. Hundreds of vessels hung in perfect formation around the rust-red planet. Their designs were unlike anything the Kilari had ever seen. Elegant yet powerful, with smooth curves that seemed to bend space itself around them. Age analysis indicates these vessels are approximately 500,000 years old, reported the science officer. "But Captain, they're still powered, still functional." Before Naira could respond, a surge of energy rippled through the ancient fleet. Ships began to move with precise coordination, their midnight black hulls coming alive with lines of blue energy. A voice echoed through the Starweaver's communication system, speaking in perfect modern galactic, despite its ancient origins. "Unidentified vessel, you have entered restricted space. This is the Sol System Defense Network, designation Guardian Alpha. State your purpose or withdraw immediately." Naira exchanged glances with her senior staff. This was unprecedented. An automated defense system not only surviving 500,000 years, but maintaining such sophisticated functionality. "This is Captain Naira Valen of the Kilari Scientific Expedition vessel Starweaver. We come seeking knowledge of the species known as humans." There was a pause, during which the ancient fleet continued its defensive positioning. When the voice returned, it carried a different tone, one of careful evaluation. "Access request acknowledged. Initiating First Contact Protocol 7 Alpha. Please maintain position while we verify your technological and cultural development level." Streams of data began flowing through the Starweaver systems, probing but not invasive, testing but not threatening. Naira watched in fascination as the ship's AI engaged in complex exchanges with the human defense system. "Captain," Zen called out, his voice filled with wonder, "these scans, the technological level of these vessels, they're still centuries beyond our current capabilities." After all this time, Naira nodded slowly, beginning to understand why the stories of humanity had persisted through the ages. "They didn't just build ships," she said softly. "They built legacies, systems meant to last until someone worthy came looking for them." The Defense Network's voice returned, this time carrying a note of approval. "Initial evaluation complete. Your species shows promise, Captain Valen. You have been granted preliminary access to the Sol Historical Archive. Be advised, this is the first stage of a comprehensive evaluation protocol. The future of two civilizations now rests in your hands." As the massive gates of a previously invisible space station began to open before them, Naira felt the weight of history settling on her shoulders. Her expedition had sought answers about humanity's disappearance. Instead, they had found something far more significant: humanity's carefully planned return protocol, waiting for the right moment and the right species to activate it. "Take us in," she ordered, her voice steady despite her racing hearts. "Let's see what humanity left for us to find." The Starweaver moved forward, escorted by vessels that had kept their vigilant watch through 500,000 years of solitude. As they approached the station, its ancient hull came alive with patterns of light, welcoming the first visitors to pass its tests in all those centuries of waiting. Humanity might have vanished, but their legacy lived on, waiting for worthy inheritors. And now, after 500,000 years, that legacy had finally found its candidates. The Starweaver docked with the ancient station in a perfect merge of technologies, separated by 500,000 years. As the airlock cycled, Captain Naira Vallon led her carefully selected team into humanity's legacy. The station's interior illuminated itself as they proceeded, revealing corridors that seemed to stretch endlessly in all directions. "Atmospheric composition adjusted to Kilari standards," announced Dr. Senna Rel, the expedition's archaeologist, checking her instruments. "The station is actively accommodating us." This level of adaptive technology, it's extraordinary. A holographic figure materialized before them, a representation of a human female, her form composed of shifting blue light. "Welcome to Archive Station Prometheus. I am Araya, Adaptive Research Intelligence Assistant. I have been waiting 497,234 years for a species to pass the initial evaluation protocols." Naira stepped forward, her scales shifting color slightly in response to her excitement. "We are honored to be here, Araya. My team and I have dedicated our lives to understanding the species known as humans." "Understanding," Araya replied, her form shifting thoughtfully, "is precisely what humanity hoped for when they created this facility. Please, follow me to the historical interface chamber." As they walked, the walls around them came alive with flowing streams of data, showing glimpses of human history. Their first steps into space, their conflicts, their triumphs. The chamber Araya led them to was vast, its ceiling lost in darkness above. "Before we proceed," Araya announced, "you should understand something crucial. This facility is not merely an archive. It is a test. Humanity did not disappear. They evolved. What you learn here will determine whether your species is ready to follow the path they blazed." The chamber erupted into light, surrounding them with three-dimensional images of Earth's history. They watched in awe as humanity progressed from primitive tools to quantum computing in mere millennia. But it was what came next that left them speechless. "Approximately 500,000 years ago," Araya explained, "humanity achieved what they called the Omega Breakthrough, the ability to transcend physical form entirely. But they knew their advancement had been unnaturally rapid. They feared that without proper guidance, future species might repeat their mistakes." Dr. Rel stepped forward, her scientific curiosity overwhelming her caution. "What mistakes? What happened during their development?" The images shifted, showing scenes of warfare, environmental destruction, and near-extinction events. "Humanity advanced too quickly," Araya continued. "They barely survived their own technological progression. The wars they fought, the crises they faced, each nearly wiped them out. When they finally achieved transcendence, they'd made a decision." The display showed the construction of the massive fleet they had encountered, the building of the archive stations, the creation of the defense network. "They would leave behind guardians," Araya said. "Systems to watch, wait, and evaluate, to ensure that when another species reached for the stars, they would have guidance." Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the station. Araya's form flickered, her expression becoming severe. "Warning, Level 2 evaluation protocol initiating. Hostile forces detected entering the system." Naira's communicator crackled to life with a transmission from the Starweaver. "Captain, 3 vessels just emerged from hyperspace. Configurations matched the Drachnid Imperium. They're charging weapons. Aria's form stabilized, her eyes now glowing with increased intensity. The Drachnid vessels have failed preliminary peaceful contact protocols, initiating defense measures. Captain Valen, you now face your first real test. How would you protect this knowledge? The chamber's displays shifted to show the approaching Drachnid ships, brutal, angular vessels designed for conquest. The human defense fleet had already begun to move, but Aria made no move to command them. Naira understood. This was part of the evaluation. How they handled this crisis would determine their worthiness to access humanity's legacy. She straightened her spine, mind racing through options. Aria, can you patch me through to the Drachnid vessels? Communication channels open, Captain. Naira took a deep breath. Drachnid vessels, this is Captain Valen. You have entered restricted space containing technologies beyond your current evaluation level. The automated defense systems here have protected this region for 500,000 years. I strongly advise you to withdraw. The response came in the form of charged weapon banks. The Drachnid ships pressed forward, clearly intent on claiming the ancient human technology for themselves. They're not going to listen, Zen observed grimly. No, Naira agreed, but that's not why I warned them. She turned to Aria. Humanity believed in giving chances, didn't they? In showing mercy when possible, but they also believed in protecting what was important. Aria's holographic form smiled. Correct assessment. How would you proceed? Activate the defense fleet's warning protocols. Show them exactly what they're dealing with, but minimize loss of life if possible. The Drachnids should learn from this encounter, not be destroyed by it. The human vessels moved with impossible grace, their ancient weapons powering up with a display of force that made the Drachnid ships look primitive in comparison. Precise shots disabled their primary systems, leaving them floating helplessly in space. An interesting choice, Aria noted. You could have destroyed them, yet you chose restraint. Knowledge should be protected, Naira responded, but not through unnecessary destruction. The Drachnids will tell others what they found here, and what happened when they tried to take it by force. That serves humanity's purpose better than their destruction would. Aria's form grew brighter. Second evaluation protocol complete. You continue to show promise, Captain Valen. Are you prepared to proceed to the next level of access? I must warn you. What you learn next will challenge everything you believe about the nature of existence itself. Naira looked at her team, seeing the same determination reflected in all their faces. We're ready. Show us what humanity discovered. The chamber darkened, then exploded into new configurations of light and data, beginning to reveal the true scope of humanity's final discovery, and the reason they had left such elaborate systems to guide those who would follow in their footsteps. The historical interface chamber transformed around the Kilari team, the holographic displays coalescing into a perfect recreation of Earth as it existed 500,000 years ago. Cities of impossible architecture stretched toward the sky. Vehicles moved through the air in intricate patterns, and humanity had clearly mastered their world in ways the Kilari had never imagined. What you're seeing, Aria explained, her holographic form, now walking among the recreated scenes, is humanity's final phase of physical existence. They had solved the fundamental problems of scarcity, disease, and even death itself. But they faced a greater challenge, the limits of their own form. The images shifted to show research facilities where humans worked on projects that seemed to defy the laws of physics themselves. They discovered something extraordinary, Aria continued. Consciousness itself was not bound to physical form as they had always believed. The universe, at its most fundamental level, was information. Dr. Rel's scientific instruments were working overtime, trying to process the data streaming through the chamber. Are you saying they found a way to digitize consciousness? Aria's form smiled. No, they discovered that consciousness was already digital, or rather, that the distinction between digital and physical was an illusion. They didn't transfer their minds into computers. They realized that both mind and matter were expressions of the same underlying reality. Narrow watched as the historical recreation showed humanity's gradual transformation. It wasn't sudden or apocalyptic. It was a careful, methodical evolution. They transcended, she whispered, understanding dawning. But why leave all this behind? Why not take everything with them? Because they remembered their own path, Araya replied. Humanity evolved technologically faster than they evolved wisdom. They nearly destroyed themselves multiple times. When they finally achieved transcendence, they wanted to ensure that future species would have guidance they never had. Suddenly, the chamber's displays flickered. Araya's form tensed. Warning: station defenses detecting unusual activity. Something is attempting to access restricted archives. The peaceful historical recreation vanished, replaced by security feeds showing multiple breaches throughout the station. Dark, crystalline forms were emerging from seemingly nowhere, their surfaces absorbing light. Quantum phase infiltrators, Zen identified, drawing his weapon. The Drachnids must have deployed them before we disabled their ships. Correct, Araya confirmed. This is now part of your third evaluation protocol. These infiltrators are attempting to access and steal restricted human technology. How you handle this crisis will determine your readiness for the next level of revelation. Naira quickly assessed the situation. The infiltrators were spreading throughout the station, clearly following some pre-programmed directive to locate and extract valuable data. But something about their movement pattern caught her attention. They're not random, she realized. They're being drawn to specific archives. Araya, are they detecting power signatures? Indeed, the most critical human technological databases emit distinct quantum signatures. The infiltrators are designed to locate and copy such signatures. Naira's mind raced, remembering everything they'd learned about humanity's approach to problems. They wouldn't have left such an obvious vulnerability. This is another test, isn't it? The infiltrators aren't just threats. They're tools for understanding. She turned to her team. Don't destroy them. Track them. See what they're drawn to. Humanity built this station to teach, not just to preserve. Even their security measures are lessons. Understanding dawned on her team's faces. They began coordinating with the station's systems, not to eliminate the infiltrators, but to observe their behavior. Each crystalline intruder was revealing, through its attempts at theft, the structure and organization of humanity's legacy. Look at this pattern, Dr. Rell called out, analyzing the data. They're mapping the station's knowledge architecture. If we follow their movements. She paused, her eyes widening. Captain, I think I understand. The station's layout itself is data. The physical architecture is a message. Araya's form brightened. Very good. Humanity designed this station as a three-dimensional textbook. Its very structure encodes their journey from primitive life to transcendent beings. The infiltrators are helping you read that book. The crystalline forms had spread throughout the station, unwittingly creating a glowing map of humanity's technological evolution. Each attempted breach revealed another chapter in their story, another step in their transformation. The Drachnids thought they were stealing technology, Naira said, watching the pattern complete itself. Instead, they've helped us understand humanity's greatest lesson. Everything is connected. Every threat can be a tool for understanding. Every crisis contains its own solution. The infiltrators suddenly froze, their crystalline forms beginning to dissolve. Araya nodded approvingly. Third evaluation protocol complete. You have demonstrated the ability to find knowledge in unexpected places, to turn apparent threats into opportunities for understanding. This was humanity's greatest strength. The chamber reformed, now showing a new level of detail in its historical recreation. You are now ready to learn about the Omega Protocol, humanity's final gift to the universe, and the true purpose of this facility. But I must warn you, what you learn next will forever change your understanding of your place in the cosmos. Naira looked at her team, seeing the same mix of anticipation and trepidation on their faces that she felt herself. They had passed 3 tests, each revealing more about humanity's legacy, but something in Aria's tone suggested that the real challenges and the real revelations were still to come. "We're ready," Naira declared, her scales shifting to a deeper shade of determination. "Show us what humanity wanted us to understand." The chamber began to transform once again, preparing to reveal secrets that had waited 500,000 years for worthy recipients. As the displays shifted, Naira couldn't shake the feeling that they were about to learn something that would change not just their mission, but the destiny of their entire species. The chamber's transformation was unlike anything before. The holographic displays merged into what appeared to be a window into another dimension, filled with impossible geometries and patterns that seemed to hold meaning just beyond comprehension. "What you are seeing," Aria explained, her form now pulsing with complex energy patterns, "is humanity's final discovery, the underlying structure of consciousness itself." They called it the Omega Framework. The visualization shifted, showing how reality itself was built on layers of information, consciousness, and energy, all intertwined in ways that defied conventional physics. Humanity discovered that the universe was not just conscious, but that consciousness itself was the fundamental building block of reality. Everything, matter, energy, space, time, was an expression of this deeper pattern. Dr. Rel's scientific instruments were smoking slightly, overwhelmed by attempting to measure what they were witnessing. This changes everything we thought we knew about physics, about existence itself." "Indeed," Aria confirmed. "But the discovery came with a price." Knowledge of the Omega Framework granted almost godlike power, the ability to reshape reality itself. Humanity realized that such power required perfect wisdom to use responsibly. Naira watched as the display showed humanity's greatest debate: what to do with this ultimate discovery. "They could have reshaped the universe as they wished," she observed. "Why didn't they?" "Because they remembered their own history," Aria replied. "Every time humanity gained great power before gaining great wisdom, they nearly destroyed themselves. They knew other species would eventually discover the Omega Framework. They chose to ensure these discoveries would happen in the right way, at the right time." The chamber shifted again, revealing a vast network of similar stations and fleets throughout the galaxy, all waiting, watching, guiding. "This is the true purpose of the Inheritance Protocol," Ariad explained. "Not just to preserve knowledge, but to ensure its proper discovery, to guide species toward wisdom before power." Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the station, but these were different from before, more urgent, more final. "Warning," Aria announced, her form becoming more serious. "Final evaluation protocol initiating. The station has detected a quantum anomaly forming in the system. A natural discovery of the Omega Framework is occurring." The main display showed a growing distortion near Jupiter's orbit, space itself beginning to ripple as fundamental forces began to unravel. "This is not part of the test," Aria clarified. "This is real. A random quantum fluctuation is causing a spontaneous manifestation of Omega Framework awareness. If not properly managed, it could trigger an uncontrolled consciousness cascade throughout this sector of the galaxy." Naira's heart raced as she understood the implications. Every conscious being would suddenly become aware of their true nature, of their power to reshape reality. Without preparation, without wisdom, the results would be catastrophic, Aria confirmed. "This is why humanity created the Inheritance Protocol. This moment was predicted, planned for. But the response must come from you, not from us. Humanity's legacy can guide, but the species that inherits their role must prove themselves ready." The station shuddered as the quantum anomaly grew stronger. Display screens showed the ancient human fleet moving into position, ready to act, but waiting for commands. Ari's form stood before them, expectant. "Captain Valen, you now face the ultimate test. You have seen humanity's path, understood their reasons. The station's systems can contain the anomaly, but the method used will determine the future of consciousness development in this sector. How would you proceed? Naira stood silent for a moment, processing everything they had learned about humanity's journey, their discoveries, their choices. The easy solution would be to simply suppress the anomaly, prevent the knowledge from spreading. But that wasn't humanity's way. "We don't stop it," she declared finally. "We guide it. Use the station's systems not to contain the anomaly, but to direct it. Channel it through the inheritance protocols that humanity created. Let it awaken consciousness gradually, in those ready to receive it." Araya's form grew brighter. "Explain your reasoning." Humanity didn't just leave us technology. They left us wisdom. They showed us that every crisis is an opportunity, that knowledge without understanding is dangerous, but understanding without knowledge is stagnation. They wouldn't want us to prevent this awakening. They'd want us to ensure it happens properly. The chamber hummed with energy as the station's systems engage, not fighting the quantum anomaly, but working with it, channeling its effects through the vast network of guidance systems humanity had left behind. The ripples of awakening consciousness would still spread, but now they would follow the paths of wisdom that humanity had prepared. Final evaluation protocol completed, Araya announced, her form now blazing with approval. "You have demonstrated not just understanding, but wisdom. You are ready for the final revelation. Humanity's last message to those who would follow in their path." The chamber began its final transformation, preparing to share the ultimate truth about humanity's legacy and the future they had prepared for all conscious beings in the galaxy. As the displays shifted, Naira realized that everything they had learned so far was just preparation for what was to come. The chamber's final transformation was unlike anything before. The walls, floor, and ceiling seemed to dissolve, leaving the Kilari team floating in what appeared to be the fabric of space-time itself. But this was space as no one had ever seen it, alive with consciousness, pulsing with purpose and meaning. Humanity's final message, Araya announced, her form now a complex pattern of light and energy, was not recorded in data or encoded in technology. It was written into the structure of reality itself. "Watch." The space around them shifted, and suddenly they were everywhere at once, witnessing the birth of stars, the formation of galaxies, the emergence of life across countless worlds. But they weren't just seeing these events, they were experiencing the underlying consciousness that connected them all. "This is how humanity now perceives reality," Araya explained. "They didn't leave the universe, they became one with it. What you're experiencing is their perspective, their understanding of existence itself." Through this cosmic awareness, Naira and her team began to understand the true scope of humanity's achievement. They hadn't just transcended their physical form. They had discovered that consciousness itself was evolving throughout the universe. Every species that reached for the stars was part of a greater pattern, a universal awakening. But humanity recognized a problem. Araya continued. This awakening was chaotic, unguided. Some species achieved technological transcendence only to lose themselves in power. Others discovered consciousness manipulation before developing the wisdom to use it. Humanity chose to become guides rather than gods. The vision shifted, showing the true purpose of the stations, the fleets, the tests. They weren't just preserving knowledge. They were creating a network of conscious evolution, ensuring that species would discover their true nature in the right way at the right time. "Your handling of the quantum anomaly proved you understand this principle," Araya said. "But now comes humanity's final revelation, and their offer." The cosmic vision focused back on their local sector of space, showing hundreds of species at various stages of development. Some were just reaching for the stars. Others were approaching their own moments of transcendence. "Humanity needs successors," Araya revealed. "Species who can maintain their network of guidance, who can help shepherd the next wave of conscious evolution. They have watched your kind for generations, testing, evaluating. The Kilari have shown the perfect balance of technological achievement and wisdom. Naira felt the weight of this revelation settling on her scales. You're saying humanity wants us to take their place, not replace them. Araya corrected. Join them. Become part of their network of guardians and guides. Help other species navigate the challenges you have faced. The Omega framework isn't just knowledge, it's a responsibility. The chamber filled with new information, the location of other stations, the protocols for awakening more of humanity's legacy vessels, the methods for identifying and guiding promising species. But more than data, they were being offered a purpose. Before you decide, Araya said, you should understand what acceptance means. Your species will gain access to humanity's legacy, but you will also inherit their mission. You will need to remain physical, to maintain the bridge between transcendent consciousness and emerging species. You will be guides, teachers, guardians, but never conquerors or tyrants. Dr. Rell stepped forward, her scientific curiosity now tempered with understanding. We would be preserving the balance they created. Exactly, Araya confirmed. Humanity discovered that consciousness evolution requires both freedom and guidance. Too much control stifles growth, too little leads to chaos. They seek partners who understand this balance. Naira looked at her team, seeing the same mix of awe and determination in their expressions. They had come seeking knowledge of humanity's fate and had found something far greater. A chance to become part of their legacy, to help guide the galaxy's consciousness evolution. There will be challenges, Araya warned. Other species may seek to seize this power by force, as the Drachnids attempted. Some may resist guidance, preferring chaos to order. You will need to be both wise and strong. Naira straightened, her scales shifting to a pattern of deep commitment. Humanity trusted us with their greatest discovery. They showed us that power without wisdom is dangerous, but wisdom without purpose is empty. We accept their offer. The chamber blazed with light as Araya's form expanded, becoming a gateway to higher understanding. Then receive humanity's final gift, the full awakening of your species' conscious potential, tempered by the wisdom you have earned. Energy flowed through the chamber, through the station, reaching out to touch every member of the Kilari species, not forcing transcendence upon them, but awakening their natural ability to perceive and guide the consciousness of reality itself. As the transformation completed, Naira understood humanity's greatest lesson. They had achieved godlike power but chosen to become humble gardeners instead, nurturing consciousness throughout the galaxy. Now the Kilari would join them in this great work, helping to guide the next phase of universal awakening. The ancient human fleet, no longer just a defense force, now stood ready to serve its new partners. The station's archives opened fully, revealing the true scope of humanity's plans for conscious evolution. And somewhere, in the fabric of reality itself, Naira sensed humanity's consciousness, not gone, but transformed, watching with approval as their legacy found worthy inheritors. Welcome, Araya said, her form now a bridge between physical and transcendent reality, to humanity's greatest project, the conscious awakening of the universe itself. The Kilari expedition had sought answers about humanity's disappearance. Instead, they had found humanity's true achievement, and their own destiny as guardians of consciousness evolution. As Naira gazed out at the stars, she saw them with new eyes, not just as points of light, but as future gardens of consciousness, waiting to be guided toward their own awakening. The story of humanity hadn't ended with their transcendence. It had merely entered a new chapter, one in which the Kilari would now play a crucial part.